There are certain terms that denote taking action or getting out of the way, like put up or shut up, sink or swim, put out or get out, shit or get off the pot. All these terms basically denote a binary action that needs to take place in order for the mission or something to get accomplished. But as far as what I've been seeing, and yes, this is going to be cooking a lot of the MGTOWs today. I won't mention particular names, but you can probably guess which individual or individuals, if there are more than one, have caused a video like this to be created. I'm going to name this video something that we really need to call this by, and that is the beta male de-evolution, which is a modified version of the book by Alan Roger Curry called The Beta Male Revolution, in which we're seeing a lot of beta males standing up against the social programming of what they've been told that they need to do, especially being non-select, as Ron Willis will say, shout out to him as well, and instead foregoing and rebelling against what they've been told to do, especially due to the fact that they have been seen as non-select in the SMV market. However, a lot of these individuals, a lot of these beta males, a lot of these MGTOW guys, these incels, these TFLs as you want to call them, a lot of them, instead of revolting against the individuals who made them beta males, who told them that they weren't worthy enough or that they ain't had no swag, and trust me, we're sympathetic to those people on this channel, don't get us wrong. But instead of defecting against the gynocracy or the scraggle-daggles or the feminists who told them that they weren't worthy enough, you're finding these dudes now defecting against men who, in many cases, due to their own hard work, self-investment, and burden of performance, find themselves to be select. These guys, these lesser than dudes on the SMV, are now going after these other guys who have been considered select. In many cases, these guys were originally non-select, but put into work in order to reverse their SMV standing. I'm starting to see something that I've always wondered for some time, but have never been able to prove it until just now, and that a lot of these select guys aren't the ones who are provoking these non-select guys to go after them. It's these non-select guys who are firing the first shot, who are throwing the first random ass grenade on shipment. And because of this, we all have to now refocus, and instead of getting on our purpose, doing whatever it is we need to do to get this daggle in check or get these feminists in check, now we have to focus our energy, refocus our energy and effort on getting this less than select male to focus on who he really needs to go after. It's like these alt-righters going after the BBC and the ultimate frisbee champions instead of the real people who have caused or are causing their downfall. Imagine us being Autobots, right? I know this is going to be an analogy that may sound nerdy and non-select, but follow me. Imagine us being Autobots, right? We got Optimus Prime, we got the rest of the dudes, number 2 guy, whoever you guys want to put in the description on who's gonna be Optimus Prime, man, who's gonna be Optimus Prime. Look, we're all in the same Autobot team, right? And we're going to fucking Cybertron to go up against this Daggletron or Feministtron or whoever's causing us grief this week, right? Instead of us focusing on our purpose and doing what we need to do to build ourselves up, we got a bunch of motherfucking GoBots fucking the mission up, man. They're hindering our process. You have a bunch of damn GoBots just making all this rough. It's like, oh no, we shouldn't be going this way. We need to go that way. And why is it that we have Sprite in the vending machine instead of Mountain Dew? And why is it that we don't have Twinkies in the break room? I want to turn back the ship. I want to bitch about no, you are the ones who are causing this. I never wanted to fight this war, and the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
yeah, we didn't want to fight this war, but you dragged us to the war, and we're going to this different planet, we're all going to die, and I miss my mommy, and my mommy didn't love me enough. She didn't put enough Skippy in my lunch, so I got to take it out on you. Fuck, I can't wait to us to get the Cybertron to go after this Dago. I gotta fight you because I'm bitch made and I gotta punch the next thing moving because I'm a fucking GoBot. And look at me. But these women aren't loyal. These women aren't fucking loyal, man. They never dated me in high school. They never invited me to homecoming. They said no, and I'm pissed off, and I'm gonna take it out on the next Dago I see. But before that, I gotta take it out on you first because you're select. You're the one that the Dago went with, or Becky went with, or Melee and Consuelo went with, because you remind me of my daddy that wasn't there. Damn you, Autobot! I wish I was an Autobot, but I'm just a damn GoBot in my little pansy Rudy Poo-ass, hipster-ass transformation into a Pinto or a Geo or a smart car. You guys could transform into Lamborghinis and Benzes and Teslas and Ford F-950s, but I can only transform into a damn adult version of a little Tykes car. What the crap is that? Why can't I be select like you? Why can't I be an Autobot like you?
You want to hear something, GoBot? You want to hear a little secret, GoBot? You can be an Autobot like the rest of us. You can. But you guys are just too damn lazy in order to do so. You have a lot of individuals who either rock the MGTOW label or try to separate themselves from being MGTOW just to look like they're sexually select, which in reality, yeah, they aren't. And as far as these individuals are concerned, the time for complaining is over. The time. And I'm the kind of person who will give you a third option. Either you're for us, you're against us, or you're in the sidelines. But if you're on the sidelines, then don't try to narrate the game. Don't try to referee the game. Just sit and observe. And a lot of these individuals, particularly these guys who are done with the women and the gender war, all this other kind of stuff, these are the individuals who really need to listen to this video. Not everyone's welcome to listen to this video because it'll be entertaining if nothing else. And we're going to be putting the boots in the asses of some of these individuals like other people have. Shout out to C Boogie, the nerve of these niggas. And he's going to definitely concur with this video when I'm going to go in on these individuals who claim as if they're fighting some sort of war, but in reality are just revealing themselves to be sexually non-select. As far as the recent events of what I've seen, you've had individuals who have stood up and basically stated that, hey, look, there's a market out here where you have to compete, you have to step up and embrace the masculine burden of performance. Multiple individuals like C Boogie, who I just mentioned, have stated. Ron Wills, he's constantly stated it. People like Donovan Sharp have stated it. People like Abu American have stated it. And many others have stated this masculine burden of performance. I've even stated it in a recent video of mine that you can go back, it was like a month or two ago, in which I emphasize on how the masculine burden of performance is necessary and is something that should be embraced by all men. But as far as some of these other men are concerned, they won't embrace any sort of effort on their end in order to improve themselves. These individuals, while they won't do anything to improve themselves, will spend all sorts of energy, calories, effort, and hours focusing on people they deem to be the reason why their SMV value sucks. Now, From what I'm hearing, are a lot of these individuals factually wrong? Well, I'll give them this. They're 50-50. A lot of them are at worst 50-50. What they're saying does have a lot of truth to it. But we have to look at this from both sides of the angle and state that a lot of these individuals, even though what they are saying is at the very least their truth, or at the very most a fact about life, a lot of these individuals are just admitting that they're sexually non-select. And what's wrong with that, you ask? Well, there's nothing wrong with that in itself. If you're sexually non-select, and if you are aware of it, and if you're content with it, a la the individuals who are on the sidelines and the stands in the audience who are observing, and if you're content with just playing video games all night and fapping to whatever, well, all night, then alright, cool. Do you. We won't have anything to say to you, as long as you don't have anything to say to us. However, a lot of these individuals feel the need to say something to those who are actually playing the game of life. Those who are willing to embrace that burden of performance. Those who are willing to go out and either succeed or fail. Those who are willing to at least attempt to swim. These individuals will criticize those who are actually trying by calling them simps and your panhandlers of the gynocracy and your buck dancing for feminism and daggles and all this other kind of stuff. And while I do have my opinions when it comes to those who go out of their way, who amplify and just really buck dance, I'm not talking about going to the gym or trying to have good social skills. No, I'm not talking about that. That's embracing the burden of performance. But you have those who will throw their other men under the bus in order to get a sniff of you know what. And these individuals, if they were to step in and play the game, you can bet your ass that these would be the individuals who would try to either overcompensate by either flossing or stunting or flashing or just throwing other men under the bus, which in that case it's probably best for a lot of these individuals to stand on the sidelines. But when they criticize you actively, that is when they cross that line. There is always that line between the audience and the players, and once you cross that line, you are subjected to whatever happens. You are not protected from any sort of criticism, critique, or roasting, quite frankly. And now I see these individuals who, because some individuals nominated and gave alley-oops to other individuals because they see the game that's in them, you have these other individuals, mostly these MGTOWs at best, incels at worst, TFLers, whatever you want to call them. These individuals feel as if they have something to say when it comes to the game. Well, quite frankly, you guys don't. You guys are the same ones who, as C Boogie eloquently stated, need to do nothing but go to the store, pick up some chips, pick up some Juicy Juice, pick up some Dutchess or Black & Miles or whatever it is that we used to smoke, and bring that back to the players and make sure you have the exact change. And if you're lucky, we'll let you keep the change so you could spend it on your little V-Bucks or COD points or whatever you use these days. Or better yet, these Venmo me $5 girls. Yeah, those Instagram thoughts that you guys constantly criticize, yet when no one's looking, you're the first ones in their inbox. We know the kind of guys you are. We know the kind of game you're playing. And a lot of you guys want to pretend that you're on the sidelines even though you're running your mouth. But in reality, you guys are playing the game too. You guys are playing the game of trying to, at best, gain sympathy so that you can get some pity nookie, or at worst, you're throwing other men under the bus in order to basically, not even dirty mac. You're not even dirty macking. You're dirty simping. It's bad enough when you have people who directly simp for chicks that they haven't gotten laid from by taking them out with all sorts of dinners, doing all these extravagant activities. I'm not even just talking about having plain good old fun, but just taking them out to all these cruises and trips, like they won something on The Price is Right, like they pressed their luck and landed on the right box. You got those simps, which are bad enough, but you have these people who pretend they're MGTOW, who pretend that they're out of the game, who pretend that they don't want any part of a woman whatsoever, but in reality, behind the surface, when no one's looking, you're the main ones who are trying to get at these women. And we can tell which ones you are. The individuals who will talk about, well, these women are no good, but come out with videos talking about women in every other damn video. You guys are obsessed. And I'm starting to think that a lot of you guys are clinically ill to the point in which you guys need psychiatric help. Whether it's an outpatient or an inpatient one, that can be up for debate. But as far as this is concerned, this is dirty simping. A lot of you guys are going after the select men, not in the way that is upfront and honorable. Like in the example of C Boogie versus Alan Roger Curry. You had C Boogie, who had a couple of things that he had issues with philosophically, not really beef-wise, but it was, as I like to call it, hashtag no beef, just business. He had one of those business rivalries with, ARC. They locked horns. They had it in, it was a little roast arena action there, but they ended up having mutual respect for each other to the point that they're on each other's panels and hangouts. Game recognizes game. But no! A lot of you guys don't want to call out certain individuals and say, hey, look, you got all the chicks, you're macking all the chicks, I want some of those chicks as well. One fee, one me on shipment, on Newtown 24/7 with whatever. You guys want to pretend that you're above the game, that you're better than the game, that you're better than these individuals because I'm pious and holy and I'm virtue signaling over a lack of access, which is what a lot of these pro-whacks do as well. I'm not going into them right now. I'll get in their asses on another video. But what a lot of you guys are doing in reality is virtue signaling because of a lack of access. A lot of you guys out there, since you can't get a certain kind of woman or can't get any kind of women, you turn your struggle into some sort of faux virtue signaling. Don't be fooled by these guys who pretend that they want to help their fellow man and give all of these quote-unquote faux advice and all of these outlandish stories about how some guy in the third galactic sector of Mars got chewed out the frame by his wife. Shout out to Nego. Chewed out the frame because he came in 5 minutes late and then she took all of his stuff and he ended up sleeping behind the Martian rocks and overdosed on Martian hash. Look, these guys are not here to help you. These guys do not care about helping you. These guys are the kind of guys who basically thrive off of misery loving company. These individuals are the kind of individuals who, if they were given a chance to get with the baddest chick they can think of, they will throw this little MGTOW movement, incel identity, TFL shtick under the bus and however many men it takes along with it in order to get with whatever daggle, whatever waggle, whatever feminist, whatever bat bitch comes their way. These guys need to be called out for the frauds that they are. And no, this is not us pushing men to go back to the blue pill and gynocracy and wet these hoes. No, we're in the new age. This is pro-red pill. We're pro-red pill here. But what we aren't is pro-whining and complaining and bitching and moaning about every little thing under the sun. We know you guys, in reality, basically are fighting the war of middle and high school and college or of your 20s where the baddest chicks didn't pay attention to you and you're still upset and hurt, and now due to the fact that you have some sort of unclosed issue that you feel as if you're going to be the crusader on getting against this individual, getting against this female, getting against this daggle. And trust me, daggles need to be checked. Feminists need to be checked. I'm not going to say that your fight isn't worthy. And I'm not going to be the kind of individual who's going to stand in your way. As a matter of fact, I consider a lot of it humor. But we gotta call this for what it is. A lot of you individuals are using virtue signaling in order to hide your lack of access, your lower SMV, your status of being non-select. We know what time it is when it comes to you guys, especially one of these individuals who lives in a particular city where he was likely clowned by the chicks in the block. As I stated, these sisters, this is one of the very two times I'm going to use sister in place of Scraggle Dagger, because a lot of these sisters, they realized that this guy basically was a shine. This guy was the epitome of an educated lame, of a made-up-male coon. And they curved his ass to the point in which he's now huffing and puffing and like, these women, and a lot of you guys are going to say, well, you complained about that too. But that's for thanking black men. Black men who have done everything in their powers to improve themselves. Compared to this guy who, from my understanding, yeah, he's in no position to really improve himself like that. I'm not going to go into particular details, but in this city where he got clowned, you have the sisters who weren't feeling him, and then since he's in a segregated city where not a lot of non-black women mess with brothers, yes, there are cities like that, he all of a sudden wants to be MGTOW. Even though he's caping for those Beckys and Maylins and Selenias who aren't really checking for brothers in his city, but he still, from what I understand, capes for them while bashes a certain other group of women. Look, these guys are hoes, man. These guys are some hoes. These guys are some hoes. These guys are jokes. These guys are worse than beta males. These guys are some GoBots, man. These guys are some damn GoBots. From here on out, we are going to call these guys, not even MGTOWs, incels, TFLs, or whatever. We're going to call these guys GoBots. Because if you're going to go at the Autobots like that, while we're trying to fight off freaking Megatron and the Decepticons and Cybertron, y'all hoes are some GoBots. That's the only thing I can say about you guys. These guys are the epitome of not even educated lames, but just lames. I don't use that word too often for a reason. It's for reasons like this. Because when I want to state something that is lame or someone who is quote-unquote cooning, I want it to mean something. And in this case, I mean it. And besides the fact, this guy's avatar, yeah, I'm going there. This guy's avatar is literally the stuff of nightmares. I mean, you look at this dude's avatar, and you can probably guess why this guy's going MGTOW. Anyway, everyone else out there, always bet on X.